Hi everyone, this is Charmaine from Fantastic Crafts. I hope all of you are having a fabulous day. Today we're going to be doing a little card that's going to have a twist to your regular A2 size card, and I thought it was really fun and it really kind of gives another look if you are tired of the traditional A2 size card. I used this really super cute pink and Main stamp set. The stamp set is called Smarty Pants, and I also used the Beary Sentimental by May Made It stamp set. And I kind of wanted to use these two stamp sets together because I thought May's had really cute berry, sentiments, and I love the images from the Smarty Pants bears. So I thought it would be perfect or go perfectly together. This is going to be, I believe this is called a French fold card. It opens up from the sides and it also opens up from the top. So to begin, what we do is we take a 8 3/4 by 8 3/8 piece of cardstock. Now I know the 8s are a little challenging. I kind of tried to make the video go a little slower just so you can see exactly where that 8th mark is. So moving on to the scoring part, at the 8 3/4 side of your cardstock, that's going to go on the top where the numbers are. You're going to score at 5.5. So this is going to create the height of your card. Then you're going to flip it over, or actually just twist it over to the 8 3/8 side, and you are going to score at 2 1/8 on each side. So 2 1/8 on one side, flip that cardstock over, and then 2 1/8 on the other side. And the reason I do that is because I don't like measuring, so this just is easier for me. And then you're going to go back where you scored at that 5.5 at the 8 3/4 side, and you are going to come down to 2 1/8 once again, but this time you're not going to score all the way down. You're only going to score just where that's the other score line meets, and you'll get it as you're doing it. You'll see exactly where that line meets, and you'll just stop right there. And pretty much what we're creating is a line for us to cut off. And I took a gel pen and I kind of crossed off where you're going to have to cut off. And when you cut the two panels off on the sides, you are left with what looks like a top hat. And that, if you have that look, you know exactly that you're doing it correctly, and this will come out perfectly. So once you have all that completed, all you do is fold it. Now, I will have to say, sometimes the score lines are a little difficult. Just kind of, you may have like missed 1/16 of an inch, or if not more, and it doesn't always line up. So you kind of have to play with the little side panels, the square panels on the bottom, to line it up together, and then you just crease it. And remember, you are the boss of that paper, so you make that paper go wherever it needs to go. Don't let it boss you around. So you just fold it and create a little panel on the little bottom there, and then the top fold also is the easier part. So once you have that created, you have most of the difficult part completed. Now is for the matting, and I wanted to mat with black cardstock because I usually like doing that. And what I did was just kind of make it all 1/8 of an inch smaller. So for those two bottom ones, I cut my square at 2 inches, and then I just put those on. And then I wanted to have another panel on the top of that black cardstock, so I just cut another one at let's see, that was 1 7/8. So I did that 1 7/8 square, and then I did the same exact thing, and that white cardstock is where my little bears are going to live. Once I was done cutting those, I cut the top mat, the top part that folds in. The first mat, the black cardstock, I cut at 4 by 3 1/8. And once I was done with that, I also cut another one that was 3 7/8 by 3. So then I went ahead and stamped on those little square panels, and what I did to stamp those is use VersaFine because I am going to be watercoloring these little bears. So I wanted to make sure I had a ink that would be work well for my watercoloring. For this little background that I created on the top fold, I wanted to play with some oxide ink, so I simply just had a little watercolor paper that I needed to use up, and I used a few different colors and blended it together with my Nuvo blending sponge, and then sprayed some water on it just to give it a little bit of more a different look. But honestly, I just really wanted to play with my oxide inks and use that little piece of watercolor paper. So I thought it was a perfect, I mean, why do we craft, right? Because it's fun for us. So I thought this would be fun. So I used that. Well, that little background piece was drying. I got my little bears back, and of course, I wanted to use this little watercolor set that I am completely in love with at the moment because it is so incredibly easy to watercolor with this. And of course, just like before, all I did was scribble some color with the water, with that little crayon coloring marker, no, they're color pencils, and use my Nuvo water brush to just kind of blend it together. Now, I did figure out that if you want a more intense color from these pencils, all you have to do is take your little Nuvo or any kind of water brush to the tip where that color is of that pencil, and it would give you a deeper, richer color, so more pigment onto that color. So I did that, and this set does not have a brown, so I mixed a few colors to make brown and give the bear a little more fuzzy look, and I think it came out pretty cute. So I did this on both of my little square panels because I did stamp out two bears. I also inked the edges of this two bear panels, as I call it, with just the oxide ink, and I really didn't even take any more ink from my ink pad. All I did was just whatever remainder of that ink I had left over on that sponge, that's what I used, and it just kind of gives a more finished look. And I know I say that all the time, but I really do love what a finished look it gives when you do this. I did the same exact thing with my little background that I created just to give it more of a finished look and a complete look. Then all I did was glue all my panels together and glue it onto the card, and we are almost done creating the card. The last thing to do is to create the sentiment. So I just, using my VersaFine Onyx Black once again and my Nina cardstock, I stamped "Wishing you a Beary happy birthday," and I just inked the edges of that little sentiment. And then what I love to do when I want to emphasize something is to put foam tape. So I put some double-sided foam squares onto the back of this little sentiment and then popped it up. Now our card is complete, and I thought came out really, really cute. The bears are adorable, and the sentiment and the bear goes so well together. I just really, really love the look of it, and I just think it's a very different look for a ordinary card, and it doesn't require too much extra effort. So I hope you enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed creating it, so give it a try. And if you did, let me know. Let me know how it comes out and if you like it or what you thought about it. And I will see you guys and hear from you guys soon. So have a great day. Bye, guys.